So you want to be a supply chain professional? Well, you come to the right place. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to go from zero experience to a full-time supply chain job in 4 to 12 weeks. And along the way, I'll reveal the 3 biggest mistakes beginners make when trying to break into the supply chain industry. Mistakes that could cost you months of wasted effort and missed opportunities. Before I tell you the exact roadmap to become a supply chain professional, I need to show you where supply chain fits in the bigger picture. Because here's what most people don't realize. Supply chain professionals are the backbone of every major company, and they're making some serious money doing it. Every business has a system, multiple moving parts working together to create products and deliver services. Any company, you'll hear about sales, marketing, operations, and finance. But procurement? That's the department that makes or breaks the bottom line. Think of procurement as the strategic buying brain of the organization. While other departments spend money, procurement professionals save money, and that makes them incredibly valuable. Here's something that might surprise you. While marketing teams spend millions trying to increase revenue by 2 to 3%, procurement professionals routinely save companies 5 to 15% of their total spend. That's not just impressive, that's game-changing for any business's profitability. Let me give you a real-world example. Imagine you're working as a procurement analyst at a tech company. They need to buy $50 million worth of computer components this year. As a procurement professional, you're not just placing orders, you're running requests for proposal processes, analyzing supplier capabilities, negotiating contracts, managing vendor relationships, and finding ways to get better quality for less money. Maybe you negotiate a 3% better price on these components through a strategic RFP process. That's $1.5 million saved, more than most marketing campaigns generate new revenue. Maybe you identify a new supplier through market analysis who can deliver 15% faster, preventing costly production delays. That's millions more in avoided costs. This is why procurement professionals are so well compensated. You're directly impacting the company's profitability in ways that few other roles can match. As a procurement professional, you don't worry about marketing campaigns or customer service calls. Instead, your days are filled with managing RFP processes, overseeing requisition-to-pay workflows, conducting spend analysis, and evaluating supplier performance. You're solving complex problems, which suppliers offer the best total cost of ownership. How do we reduce risk in the supply chain? How can we optimize our procurement processes to save both time and money? Analytical, it's strategic, and it's where some of those interesting business challenges live. And that's exactly why it pays so well. The career progression in procurement is clear and lucrative. You can start as a procurement analyst making $55,000 to $90,000 per year, then advance to roles like category manager at $85,000 to $120,000. But here's where it gets really exciting. Senior roles like procurement operations managers, they earn routinely between $90,000 and $125,000. Strategic sourcing director positions pay $120,000 to $160,000, and procurement director roles command $130,000 to $180,000 annually. At the executive level, chief procurement officers earn $175,000 to $250,000 or more, and procurement roles often come with performance bonuses directly tied to the savings you generate. Save the company $2 million through better RFP management and negotiations, you might see a $20,000 to $40,000 bonus on top of your base salary. But here's the best part. You don't need a degree or prior experience to break in. Companies care about one thing: can you deliver results? And with the right training, you absolutely can. The problem is most people have no idea how to get started, which leads to the first major mistake. First mistake most people make in trying to learn procurement is that they get excited, start Googling procurement courses, and 3 days later, they're drowning in random YouTube videos, half-finished online courses and certificates that are never completed. The problem isn't learning, unfocused learning. You can't hit a moving target if you never pick one. And procurement is a broad field with multiple specializations that require different skill sets. If you look at the career paths in procurement, you'll see distinct tracks that require different core competencies. The RFP management track focuses on strategic sourcing, supplier evaluation, and contract negotiation. The procurement operations track emphasizes process optimization, requisition-to-pay management, and supplier performance monitoring. Analytical track centers on spend analysis, market research, and data-driven decision-making. Here's what I learned the hard way during my 15 plus years in procurement in the early days. You can't pursue all these tracks simultaneously. When I first started in this field, I spent weeks trying to learn everything at once and ended up being mediocre at everything instead of excellent at one thing. Here's the problem most people face. They spend months jumping between random YouTube videos and generic business courses, never getting the focused, job-specific training they actually need. They waste time learning outdated concepts that don't match what employers are looking for in 2025. And worst of all, they never get hands-on practice with real procurement processes like RFP management and requisition-to-pay workflows that hiring managers expect. I see this pattern constantly. People spend months watching videos about procurement theory, learning basic definitions and high-level concept. But when they get into an interview, they can't walk through an RFP process step by step, don't understand how requisition-to-pay systems work, and have never actually built supplier evaluation criteria or managed contract negotiations. They know what procurement is conceptually, but they can't actually do the work. This is exactly why I partnered with Course Careers to create the most comprehensive job-focused procurement program available on the internet. Instead of guessing what you need to learn, we've reverse engineered exactly what gets people hired in 2025. It starts with Cora, the free AI career counselor that takes just 2 minutes. Cora asks you simple questions about your strengths and preferences, then matches you to the career path, whether that's supply chain, procurement, IT, or another in-demand field. Once matched, you'll get a free intro course that shows you exactly what the career looks like and how to get hired fast. If procurement is your path, you can then upgrade to the full self-paced program that I designed. It's based entirely on real-world experience, not classroom theory. I've spent over 30 years leading procurement teams, negotiating multi-million-dollar contracts, optimizing requisition-to-pay workflows, and building procurement departments from the ground up. This program reflects exactly what hiring managers want right now. The results speak for themselves. Tyrell, who was unemployed and working retail, enrolled in our supply chain coordinator course and is now making $63,000 per year as a supply chain coordinator. Alex purchased the supply chain course bundle, which included my procurement course, and landed a $71,000 logistics job offer with no prior experience. The full program is straightforward and accessible. $499 one time or $150 bi-weekly across 4 payments with a $50 discount using my link below and a 14-day money-back guarantee. You'll get lifetime access, continuous course updates, group workshops, one-on-one coaching, and a grads-only accelerator community where alumni share exclusive job leads and advice. If you've been struggling to break into supply chain or procurement, this is the focused step-by-step roadmap that works. Start with Cora, take the free intro course, and when you're ready, upgrade to the full program that's helped thousands land jobs with no prior experience. Now let's talk about the second mistake people make: passive learning. They consume procurement content the way they binge Netflix. It feels productive, but it's not. Watching someone else manage an RFP doesn't make you capable of leading supplier evaluation. Just like watching driving videos doesn't make you a driver. You need hands-on practice. My program solves this with real-world projects from day one. You'll practice with actual RFP case studies and work through complete requisition-to-pay scenarios, analyze real spend data to identify savings opportunities, and complete procurement exercises based on real challenges I faced in my career. Here's how I'd structure your next 6 to 12 weeks. In weeks 1 to 2, complete the introduction to procurement and master the key elements of the procurement framework. In weeks 3 to 6, dive deep into RFP management and master requisition to payment processes. In weeks 7 to 10, focus intensively on your job search. Update your resume, optimize LinkedIn, network, and apply strategically. In weeks 11 to 12, prepare intensively for interviews with mock scenarios and practice sessions. The third mistake beginners make is preparing for interviews the wrong way. They think they need to memorize every procurement concept and regulation. That's not what hiring managers test. They test your understanding of core processes, your analytical thinking, and your ability to communicate procurement value. I've been on both sides, hundreds of procurement interviews, and employers care more about your ability to walk through an RFP process than your ability to recite textbook definitions. They want to see how you approach supplier evaluations, how you would optimize a requisition-to-pay workflow, and how you communicate procurement recommendations to stakeholders. That's why my program includes extensive interview practice with both technical and behavioral questions, case studies that mirror real interview scenarios, and mock presentations that build your confidence. What really sets this program apart is the hands-on training with the actual processes and tools companies use. You'll work with RFP management frameworks, requisition-to-pay workflows, spend analysis techniques, and supplier evaluation methodologies. By the end, you'll understand procurement operations better than many people already working in the field, and the investment pays for itself incredibly quickly. The average Course Careers graduate increases their salary by $25,000 to $40,000 per year. Even conservatively, that's an extra $2,000 a month Course pays for itself in just a few days of your new salary. Plus you get lifetime access, so you can revisit modules anytime as you advance into senior roles like category manager, procurement operations manager, or strategic sourcing director. At this point, you know exactly what it takes to become a procurement professional in as little as 6 to 12 weeks. Procurement offers stability, growth potential, and the opportunity to make a real impact on business success. The people who succeed in procurement all have one thing in common. They took consistent action. They didn't wait for the perfect time, the perfect course, or the perfect opportunity. They just started. And if you've made it this far, you're already ahead of most people who are still thinking about making a change instead of actually doing something about it. The question isn't whether you can learn procurement. The question is whether you're ready to commit to the process that gets you hired. If you are, my Course Careers program gives you everything you need to make it happen. Check out the link below, start with the free intro, or go straight into the full program if you're serious about changing your career in the next 6 to 12 weeks. Remember, consistency beats intensity. Small, focused steps every day will get you there faster in bursts of random effort. That's all I have. Until the next time, cheers.